Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, we're going to be talking about Anafenza, the foremost. I'll get to the mono white Anafenza a little later on. I love both of her abilities, but for this deck, what I more or less did is I focused on her +1/+1 counter ability. Now, her second ability, she kind of almost makes me want to build two decks with her, but I'm not going to do that. If a creature would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it. Now, my experience, my other opponents will help me with that, with board wipes and whatsoever. So I just kind of went with the +1/+1 counter theme in white, black, green. Obviously, I chose a Johnny Unyielding here for his ultimate, no other. Putting the 5/1/1 counters on your team is pretty good. First and foremost, doubling season, don't have it in the deck because, let's face it, it's kind of a hard to find card, and it's a little on the pricey side. So anyway, I get one. This deck is in the running for the next doubling season. I think I probably got 4 or 5 decks that could really use it. But anyway, the other Ajani I also use is obviously Ajani Goldmane, the OG Ajani, just simply because he does the same thing, only in a smaller version. Let's go ahead and get to some creatures. Desecration Demon, here again. He's good if they don't block him or something. Or, I say block him. If they don't tap him down, he just keeps getting bigger. Now, we can't talk about +1/+1 or counters without Rishkar. He pretty much turns your team into, Llanowars. But hey, that's fine. If only there was something that had a whole bunch of counters on it. For Durskillhor, yeah, I know we're looking at some standard stuff here, but then, of course, we have creatures that grant abilities to things with +1/+1 counters. The Battle Priest, +1/+1 and lifelink. The Champion of Lambholt, that can get out of hand quick, and we all know that. We've been playing with her for a little while now. Corpsejack Menace, man, if there's an MVP of the deck, this might be him. We have Mikaeus here again to +1 counter up the team. The Winding Constrictor is part of that whole standard thing. And since we are doing it, we might as well throw the Walking Ballista out there because, let's face it, he's good. Yahenni. It's kind of sweet. Necropolis Regent. Combat damage, put that many counters on it. As I said, just trying to find some mana acceleration with the Sage. Trying to find things that just keyed off of 1/1 counters or gave counters. Mistcutter Hydra. I love Mistcutter Hydra. I do. Mainly because blue is a force that, hurts the deck. Triskelion. If you can move some counters, he's the one to move counters too. The Forgotten Ancients, also another good card that I need to get my hands on for the deck. The ability to mound up counters and then move them around all willy-nilly like is pretty neat. And we even got a little bit of an Air Force in this guy. Not even going to try to pronounce it. I've heard it like 17 ways. But he dies and you get 5 counters spread out however you want. And then your guys with counters have trample. Anytime anything dies, counter. the Vastwood Hydra. Vastwood Hydra is kind of unique in the fact that you don't lose the mana, essentially. You cast it, and you have your mana tied up in this large creature, and then when this creature dies, he can just... Now, it does no good for board wipes, but he can just distribute those counters to other folks, which is cool. Now they have Reach. Vulture Zombie is one of my all-time personal favorites. I love this card. I mean, it's a plant zombie. What's not to love about it? Varls. That's right. Photo Hydra. Because I can't get enough of 5 mana 1/1s. And, you know, where else am I going to play this card? What other deck is this going to naturally slot into? I mean, I doubt I have a Tribal Plant Hydra deck. And now the 1/1 they have Trample. Drakestown Forgotten. This guy is just 5 mana for Big Fatty. That's every game I see this guy cast in. He's most of the time on my opponent's side of the field. But thank you, Conspiracy. The Metal Boon. Gideon's Avenger. And of course, the Irration. Which is really neat because it can just mana counter. Now, the other, we got to have the hardened scales. It's just a thing that we have to do. Cathar's Crusade, Death Presence, and Retribution of the Ancients. Because this, the reason why Retribution of the Ancients I put in there is it does tinker with the counters, but it also can kill indestructible things. I like killing indestructible things. Obviously, the Ascendancy. I mean, we are an Abzan. Hindervine. A personal fog. So, your creatures don't deal damage, but my creatures do. And one of the only cards I'll probably ever actually pay the Strive cost on is Solidarity of Heroes in this deck. Because, wow, just start doubling counters. Now, the rest of the deck is just a lot of good, useful items that we're just going to need to play the game. I do like the addition of the Abzan Charm. The Abzan Charm, because it does tinker with counters, and it tinkers with focusing, too, it looks like. There it is. Diabolic Tutor. Oh, hey, here's a little... there is just a little bit of trivia about Diabolic Tutor and this particular artwork. This artwork is used... There are countries across the sea. I don't want to say which one because I'm not real certain which one. But there is a country that the human skeleton is banned from being depicted. So they use this art for when Diabolic Tutor has like the skeleton whispering in the ear or something like that. Although I love the new art anyway with Lily and Chandra. That's hot. I love it. But just... They call this the Snake Altar picture. Anyway. Merciless Eviction is just a toolbox. It gives you what you need. And for those pesky equipment. Now, I do run kind of not a lot of Artifact Ramp, but kind of a standard package here. But Chromatic Lantern. The Chromatic Lanterns, I typically wait and use those for 3+ color decks. In a 2-color deck, I've noticed I just don't need it as much because you don't get kind of hosed as much. In a 2-color deck, you do have some a little more consistency in drawing the colors that you want to draw. 3 colors, you start branching out, and I feel the need for chromatic lantern in three colors plus, 3, 4, and 5. But that is what I have got for today for Miss Anafenza. I do appreciate y'all watching. Please let me know what you think. Like, share, do all the favorite things. Let people know that I exist, as Evan would say. Excuse me. But right now, it is time to shuffle and cut.